So it's really early in the morning, it's quite cold, so I'm wearing a onesie, and this is the Batman v Superman spoiler review. Yes, that's right, spoilers. I will be spoiling all of the major plot points that I did not reveal in my regular review, which you can go check out right there. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to spoil it, go see the movie now and then come back. I'm giving you a count of 3. 3, I'm warning you. 2, seriously, I'm warning you. 1, okay, that's it, Superman dies. You happy now? Are you happy? Yes, that's right, Superman dies, but I'll get to that in a minute. Right now, I want to talk about some weird scenes. So these are some scenes I did not touch on in my regular review because they pertain to potential spoilers down the line, potential things for the Justice League movie. But I want to start off with the Nightmare Batman scene. That's probably the most famous one. We got a little bit of it in the trailers, so it's not as spoilery as some others, but it is going to be very spoilerish as to what I talk about. Now this scene has Darkseid written all over it. We get the Omega symbol, we get the Parademons, we get all of it. Also, we get Batman with a gun. Yeah, straight up with the Glock. He has a fucking Glock. This alternate reality future thing that this scene was setting up in a dream or a flash forward or whatever it was. It's just like, okay, the world's gone to shit. It's gone to shit that bad that Batman has a fucking gun. And we do get that really cool scene of Batman tied up. Superman comes down, bang! Superman troops bow, takes off the cowl. Hey, you're Bruce Wayne. Blah. And if they go forward with that, like the whole Darkseid apocalyptic end of time sort of thing, it's a big bold move. It's fucking awesome if they pull it off. I just feel this vision or whatever it was more of like this is a worst case scenario. You need to like fix stuff now so that this doesn't happen. And this leads me into the next little weird scene was the Flash running forward through time to tell Batman something. I didn't really catch what he said because all of a sudden it was like, holy shit, the fucking Flash is there and there's like electricity and shit and he's, you know, breaking the space-time continuum because he runs so fucking fast and he's just there. He's like, Lois is the key. That was really the only thing I really caught from what it was he said. He's like, I'm here too soon, or I've gone back too far, or something like that, but he just kept saying like Lois is the key. And if in this universe Lois Lane is the key to anything, I am out. I'm done. I'm over. I just really don't like Amy Adams as Lois Lane. I mentioned that in my previous review, but I just no. No. The last thing I want is for her to be the key of anything. There's also another weird scene with like a big bat. Could have been Man Bat, that'd be sick. And then a scene with Kevin Costner stacking rocks and Superman was there talking to him about horses, I want to say. And speaking of scenes that didn't make any sense, this whole movie, the scenes were in really weird orders and scenes just sort of happened and it felt really disjointed and really out of place a lot of the times with a lot of the scenes. And you know that thing in the trailer where it was like Batman was at like the Day of the Dead and there was all the people in the skeleton mask, the face paint stuff, and then there was the people on the rooftop like reaching out to him, and then there was like the rocket and he like saves the top of the rocket. Yeah, those happen in like the exact same sequence in the exact same way in the movie in a really weird spot that was like, okay, Clark Kent was at work at the Daily Planet, he saw something on TV, and then he went and did all this stuff in a day? It really gets bogged down in here's a scene, 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 and we give you no context. And like I mentioned previously, there was just scenes you could just grab and just sort of pluck out and just be like, be gone with you. And it wouldn't make any difference to how the story was presented to you. Case in point, the whole thing with Lois and the bullet. It's one of the opening scenes of this movie is Lois in like some far off country. She's like interviewing some dictator guy, and then Jimmy Olsen gets shot. Jimmy Olsen gets shot, okay? He's like a big part of like the whole Superman mythos and like comic book lore. And he gets shot like 10 minutes into this movie. I didn't even know it was Jimmy Olsen. I had to like look at the credits and like, oh, that guy who got shot at the start of the movie, that was Jimmy Olsen. Bye, Jimmy Olsen. And yeah, Lois gets captured by these guys and all of a sudden Superman's just there. And then he has a gun to Lois's head. Not Superman, the terrorist. And of all the things Superman could do, you know, he is faster than a speeding bullet. He could just, you know, travel real fast and like move the gun or like take the bullets out of the chamber. It's kind of what Superman does. No, he just crashes the terrorist dude through like 3 walls, undoubtedly killing him. And this is another thing that people had a problem with the movie, and I kind of get where they're coming from. Batman and Superman in this movie, they both just kill people. Really not staying that true to either of their characters. They are characters that are good, and they, you know, they don't kill people. Even if they are just like, you know, terrorist thugs, they don't kill people. They will disarm people, they will take people to the proper authorities, but they don't kill. I kind of understand with Batman, he's older, he's grumpier, he's just pissed off at the world, he hates everything. One of the Robins is dead, and I think he's just at the point where he's like, ah, fuck it, I'm done. The rules are out the window. I'm just going to kill guys now. One person I didn't really touch on in my previous review was Alfred. Alfred was awesome. Jeremy Irons as Alfred, great, sassy, sarcastic, really cool, like animated series-esque Alfred. Now let's talk more about Lex. I didn't really want to delve into his character too much in the previous review, but I'm going to here. Fuck, he is annoying. And I also think a little bit mentally not all there. There's like a speech he has at that big party where we see Batman and Superman introduced to each other for the first time. Or sorry, Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne introduced to each other for the first time. And he's giving this speech and he just sort of trails off halfway through and he's just like, what? And then he comes all the way back around. It was a really weird scene and his characterization was just off, like really off. I'll touch on him more in a minute when I get to the sort of the battles at the end of the movie. But coming back to something else that was really big in this movie was the introduction of the Justice League. It was done in what a lot of people are saying is a very, very lazy way. It was essentially 3 email attachments, which, when you say it like that, does seem really fucking lazy. But I will say, I don't know any other way they could have done it. So essentially, the reason for Wonder Woman even interacting with Bruce at the start of this movie is she is after Lex. Pretty much the same sort of stuff Batman's after, except she's after something very specific. It's a photo from her from the early 1900s, where she appears to be the exact same age. And this is, of course, a hint to the Wonder Woman movie we are getting in a year or two. So Batman like encrypts the entire LexCorp database, and he finds these files on these like 4 mystery people. One of them being Wonder Woman, the other 3 being the Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman. And essentially how we're introduced to these characters is Wonder Woman just clicks on like the file and then like a short video will play, pretty much introducing us to the character. Now I didn't mind this. In fact, in my review I said that I kind of like this because I don't really know any other way they could have done it. I don't really see the point in them just sort of like showing up, maybe in like the end battle scene, just like, hi, I'm the Flash, I run fast. That would have almost seemed more forced than what they did with this. So look, I understand why people have qualms with it. I just don't see any other way they could have done it or a way they could have done it better. Alright, now let's get to the good stuff. The battle at the end. Now, like I said, the reasons for this battle were a bit contrived from Superman's part. So Lex Luthor captures Superman's mum and says, if you don't kill Batman, then I'm going to kill your mum. But while doing this, he's already also created Doomsday, but kind of hopes that the battle goes another way and that Batman will actually kill Superman, so that if Batman does kill Superman and then Doomsday still is there, how the hell do they stop Doomsday? But as I said, the actual battle between Batman and Superman, although a bit short, is actually pretty cool. It was worth the ticket price alone just to see those two go at it. Although the ending of the fight was a bit dumb, because they basically realized, like, hey, your mum's name is Martha, my mum's name is Martha, you gotta save Martha. Why did you say that name? That's my mum's name. It's my mum's name. Let's be friends. And fight over. And then after that we get that awesome scene where Batman clears that warehouse of like 20 dudes. It was fucking awesome. I'm pretty sure he killed some more guys there. And we get like one of the only 2 jokes in the entire movie. We get Batman saving Martha. There's like a guy with like a flamethrower held on her, and he like kills him and then like jumps on Martha to save her. And she's like, who the fuck are you? And he's like, I'm a friend of your son's, even though 2 minutes ago I was trying to kill him. But I've got a cape. And she's like, cool! Then we get the Doomsday fight in full effect. And look, aside from being a purely CGI just slugfest, it was kind of cool. The climax of the fight was also pretty cool because we see the 3 of them working together. Wonder Woman had the lasso around Doomsday. Batman shoots him in the face with one of those kryptonite grenades. And then like Batman, spears him with this big kryptonite spear thing. And then Doomsday dies, but not before sending a bone spur thunk straight through Superman's heart, allegedly killing him. And then we get a rather cool scene at the end of the movie with the simultaneous funerals of Clark Kent and Superman. I felt this was kind of cool, but then of course at the very end of the movie, right before it, boom, cuts to black, there's like Clark Kent's coffin, and there's like a bit of dirt on it, and the dirt starts to like vibrate and rise off. It's just like, oh, well, Superman's obviously still alive. Which, I mean, even if they didn't do that, it's pretty obvious because you can't have a Justice League movie without Superman. But hey, they chose to go that route, so, you know, good work. I think that's it. I can't think of any other spoilers for this movie. Lois Lane was dumb. Lex Luthor was annoying. Batman and Superman kill people. Oh yeah, there's like a prison scene at the end when Lex Luthor gets his head shaved, and then he's in his cell, and like the lights flicker, and then there's Batman, and he's like, he's gonna brand Lex Luthor, but he doesn't. He just sort of like punches the wall next to him and leaves like a bat imprint in the concrete, which is pretty badass. And then Lex Luthor goes completely fucking mental and like grabs onto the bars of his cell and he's like, he's fucking coming, he's fucking coming. And we're sort of left wondering, okay, who is coming? Because like Lex Luthor early in the movie got access to the Kryptonian ship, so he has all of the information and the history of the Kryptonians, so he has a lot of info about who is out there in the universe, and apparently someone is on their way. I'll leave that up to you to decide. Possibly is Darkseid, maybe Brainiac. So that was my spoiler review of Batman v Superman. Not really a review, just like here's all the spoilers, enjoy them. But yeah, I kind of feel this didn't come across like I'm standing by my review. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I still think it's a movie worth going to see if you're a comic book fan, because it is still Batman versus Superman, even though the fight's a bit short, but you deal with that. But yeah, there is a lot of hate out there for this movie, especially among like the big reviewer community. I don't really understand the hate it's got. I mean, at the moment I think it's like sitting at 30-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I feel is somewhat unfair, because this movie is definitely better than a 30%. Yeah, it has its flaws, understandably every movie does. This one having a few more than I would have liked, and I kind of felt like every spoiler I talked about was a flaw about the movie. But like I said, I stand by the rating I gave it. I stand by all the good things I said about it in the original review. But this has been nice. It's been like therapy. It's been like me venting all like the little things that pissed me off about this movie. To be like, yeah, get them out. Get them into the world, into the ether, and just let it join all the other negativity about this movie. So anyway guys, seeing as you have already seen this movie, in the comments I'll ask you to leave what was your favourite part of this movie, what was your least favourite part, and who do you think Lex Luthor was talking about who's on their way? Before I sign off guys, I think I'll just leave you with this. This year I'm trying to actually expand this channel to be something a lot greater than what it is now. I really do want to get this channel to start to grow and start to attract new viewers. I think what I do here, I do a decent job. I'm not the best reviewer out there for sure, but I have a lot of plans of stuff I want to do this year that isn't just straight up movie reviews. And this is really the first time I've sort of asked people to do this, but it would be great if you could head down and click subscribe, share this video around, and I really want to develop this channel into something greater than what it is right now. I want this year to be a great year for me on YouTube. I want to attract a whole bunch of new people over to my channel, because you know, I try to be as unique a voice as possible, even though there are a fucking wash of movie reviewers out there on YouTube right now. But yeah, it'd be great. Head down there, click subscribe, share this with all your friends who love or hate certain movies. And yeah, I really want to make 2016 a pretty big year here on this channel. There's a lot of cool movies coming out. I've got a lot of cool ideas for other stuff to do on this channel aside from just straight up movie reviews. And I'd love for you guys to be a part of it. So anyway guys, for the time being, click right here for all your movie needs. And as always guys, I'll catch you in the next one.